There's so many good reasons to love Singapore, and that makes it difficult to move away.
Wondering if Singapore truly is an expat paradise?
The air is so clean, the water is so clean. When you go outside the country, you kind of take it for granted.
Or is it too expensive and overhyped?
Yeah, so a cost of living is very high. Like if you want to rent an apartment or even if you want to get a car, everything is so expensive.
By the way, we're InterNations, the largest community for people who live and work abroad worldwide. In this video, our event hosts in Singapore share their tips. Stay tuned to see if Singapore is the right place for you. Meet Uli, who moved here from Germany 13 years ago.
I think we're pretty spoiled in this part of the world. The little red dot, I think it's not more than 50 kilometers long, the island, but there is a lot of stuff happening here.
Overall, Singapore isn't a real standout, ranking just 37th out of 53 destinations in our annual Expat Insider survey, the largest of its kind. But here's the interesting part. For a key index, quality of life, Singapore ranked 6th. Why is the quality of life so great here? The first reason is safety, as Lavina, a native Singaporean, shares.
So it's a very safe country, especially if expatriates are bringing their children here. Fantastic. If your daughter or your son comes back home from school by the bus, walking on the street, nothing is going to happen to them. Just absolutely nothing. So they're very safe, yeah.
Nicknamed the Garden City, it's a clean, green, family-friendly place. Shika, who came here from India 16 years ago, really appreciates this aspect.
This is one of the most easiest place to live in terms of schooling. There are n number of international and local schools.
Singapore has another nickname as well, which refers to the pretty strict rules and laws which are part of life here.
So that's why they always say that Singapore is a fine city. F-I-N-E, it's a fine city, because we have all kinds of fines. Like if you throw something on the floor on the street, it's $100 fine. If you spit, there's another $100 fine. If you smoke at a certain area, there's another $100 fine. So that's why they always laugh it off and say Singapore is a fine city. Yeah.
Luckily, this doesn't seem to deter people from enjoying all the city offers. For example, the food scene is a real highlight.
I do enjoy the local cuisine very much, because you can get a bowl of laksa for a few bucks. You can get curry puffs. There is no shortage of amazing food here.
You'll find plenty to do in your free time.
We've got world-class museums, we have art galleries, we have theatres, we have performances, venues, we've got the National Gallery, we've got the Esplanade, we've got the theatres on the bay, we've got festivals.
Another highlight, how well situated it is for exploring the region.
For example, if you want to go to Bali, it's just 3 hours away. If you want to go to Thailand, it's 2 hours away. If you want to go to Philippines, it's just a few hours away. So the best part about Singapore, especially for expats, if they want to come and stay here, they can actually travel to all these regions. It's just so close by.
It's a 15 minutes taxi ride to one of the best airports in the world, and it takes me 2 hours to dive into a pool in Bali from my house, I guess.
Something else that's easy, getting around within the city-state.
You need to probably just not travel more than 500 meters to get any public transportation anywhere in Singapore by, I think, 2030. They are developing the infrastructure beautifully.
The transportation system in Singapore is one of the best, one of the safest. Everything comes on time. There's no pollution here in Singapore also. So everything is like fantastic. I don't see many expats coming to me and complaining about Singapore. Sorry if I say that.
Healthcare is top-notch here as well.
If I have a cold, I get a doctor appointment in 20 minutes. I go to the neighborhood clinic, I check in, I say I need to see a doctor. I'll wait for 10 minutes and I get treatment, and it's very, very affordable to pay $30, $40 for a consultation, and you don't have to run to the pharmacy. They even give you the medicine right away.
Elsewhere, you may struggle with learning a new language, but not in Singapore.
Language has never been a barrier because it's an English-speaking country, so that was, again, very easy.
But any destination you move to will have some downsides. Let's look at those for Singapore.
We are very strict, we are always on the go. We Singaporeans we are not the kind that, we'll relax at the beach and all that. No, we are always on the go. You know what I mean? 9 to 5. Okay, my boss is calling at 6. Oh, I got to complete my work.
In our survey, Singapore ranked 35th for working abroad, but last 53rd out of 53 destinations for work and leisure.
About it, even though it looks like a tropical paradise, people are working really, really, really hard. We can have a lot of fun, but I think sometimes it's a little overwhelming, and I think it's to everybody individually to set the boundaries.
However, not every expat agrees that it's fast-paced.
I don't think so. I disagree with that. I mean, if you say that in Hong Kong, I would say yes. But if you say that in Singapore, look, I don't think so that's the case. People have time to do the things that they want to.
If you're already living in Singapore, do you think it's fast-paced or not so much? Leave us a comment below. Let's continue and look at one of the bigger challenges in Singapore, and that's housing. First, the data. Singapore ranked pretty poorly, 51st out of 53 countries for housing. One issue is cost.
So the rents actually across the island have gone up massively over the last 1 year, 18 months. So let's say if you're single and you're looking for a place in Singapore, it's easy to find. I'll say these cost around, with the rent increases, between $1,500 to $3,000 Singapore dollars. So yeah, coming from Munich, even many years ago, the amount of rent that goes away from the salary every month is quite significant. It's no different in Europe, and the taxes are very low.
Any tips for how newcomers should look for a place to live?
So there is a platform called Property Guru, and all the houses are listed there, and then you zero into the actual area that you want to live in.
And what would the best places be?
Normally, most of the expats, they like to stay near the beach, where I stay at the east, and they also like to stay at Bukit Timah, near Orchard. So those are the areas where all the expats like to live.
Beyond rent, life in general is hard to afford here. Singapore ranked 50th out of 53 destinations for personal finance in our survey. And yet, we get the feeling that expats are actually managing quite well.
If you're an expat coming to Singapore, your salaries are very, very high. So you can actually pay for your rent. And the income taxes, for example, for an expat, is only 22%. That's it.
Daily life can be budget-friendly in many ways.
Singapore is an expensive city, but you can have a local coffee for $1.50, $1.20, right?
You can eat in hawker center. The meal would cost not more than $8. So, of course, if you go do a fine dining, it'll cost you $100 per head.
Taxi rides have been very, very, very reasonable until a while ago. It's still not as expensive as Europe. So, taking a taxi into town is around $10, $12, I would say.
You don't need to own a car here. Cars are most expensive. There's 150% duty. The government discourages you from buying that. You can just use public transportation.
So, in terms of salary, what's a general estimate of how much a single person should earn?
But I've heard from most of my expats, they do draw a salary of 9,000 or 10,000 a month and above. But with all other expenditures where their firms or the places where they work, they actually sponsor a lot of things like insurance, health insurance, and the education fee for their children. Yeah, it should be a package. Whenever an expat comes to Singapore, it's best that you ask for a package deal, not just for yourself, if you have a family.
Think about how you'll cover healthcare costs.
Our hospitals are also excellent. It's just that it can be very costly if you don't have an insurance plan. So before any expat actually come to Singapore, you need to have your insurance, not for yourself, but your whole family.
Apart from the financial side, there's one more thing to be aware of.
In other countries, you have the 4 seasons, right? In Singapore, we have no 4 seasons. You got to get used to it. It's very hot, very humid. It's like, the whole year is going to be between 27 to about 34. Recently, it was about 36. So it can be really hot and very sweaty. So get ready if you ever come here.
Okay, noted. Be sure to pack a lot of sunscreen. Once you arrive, what's the best way to adjust and make friends here? Well, Singapore doesn't rank too highly when it comes to settling in. just 40th out of 53 countries. However, this doesn't match what our interviewees think.
It's easy to get into conversations. It's easy to meet people. And they happen to be from around the world, speaking all kinds of languages, having all kinds of cultural exposures.
In case you're struggling to make friends, Singapore's InterNations community is the perfect place to start connecting and networking.
I joined InterNations way back in 2013. I had quit my job. I had started a new company, and I was just building my own network. When I came across InterNations, I thought it's a great platform to kind of network with people from different backgrounds, cultural and professional backgrounds, I would say.
With fun events, it's easy to grow your social circle.
When any new member comes in, we definitely explain them as to what InterNations is all about. And we also tell them one thing very upfront, that, here is the place where you can just walk up to anyone and say, hi, I'm so-and-so coming from so-and-so country. And so people are very open who are part of InterNations to make new friends.
You can also enjoy your hobbies in over 50 InterNations groups with regular activities.
Our popular groups are definitely the hiking group, and then we also have the Singapore Saturday Night Live group. We have the Friday Breakfast group. We also have the beach group. We have the volleyball group. We have the dancing group. I mean, the list goes on.
There's something for everyone. But what exactly makes InterNations so special?
Yeah, I think the short answer is they keep coming back to work. So I think this is one of the best compliments I've seen so far. So these are great signs that the events are fun and that people get something out of it.
I found my business partner and my best friend through InterNations, and I'm completely indebted to InterNations.
Wherever you go, in any continent, you're going to find InterNations. And that's why I repeat to all my members, you're not alone. We're a family. Yeah.
Click the link in the description to join InterNations, explore our events, and make international friends. Thanks to Lavina, Shika, and Uli for sharing their perspectives. And finally, we asked them how they feel about Singapore overall.
I call it home, and so many people that I meet here, they also call it home after some time. I mean, if I look at the world at the moment, there's no place I would rather be.
When I travel to any other part of the world, the moment I land into Singapore, I feel I'm home. I'm also connected to the community in terms of doing social service. And I've made some beautiful friends out here. What more can you ask for in living in a country?
Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss our next videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next city.